Hello, my name's Leonie. Before we begin our gum tree painting, the first thing I want to do is for us to think about our composition. A bit of planning goes into this before you begin, and that will produce a much more successful painting, just to make sure it all works. Ultimately, you want to be drawn into your painting, and you also need to have a focal point. Typically, when you're doing a landscape, you go this way. But because we're just doing a single gum tree or a couple of single gum trees, turn your page that way, we're going to do portrait. So roughly here, I'm just going to mark up the center just to show you, but we're not doing anything like that. What we normally would do would be to divide our page into thirds. Third, 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 third. I'll just get rid of these center ones just so that you're not confused. Another third, third, third. This is much more pleasing to the eye. So if I was to just draw a really light grid here, it'll be easy for you to see. Do it yourself, but we won't leave that. So now I'm thinking about the background. I'm thinking a bit of a very soft line down here. We'll have a cloud formation here in the top. Then we'll start nutting in a few distant hills, a bit of a tree line, a bit of a foreground. So I've got it happening here on this third where it crosses over. That's good. That's what I like. That one's in the wrong place. I'll just take that out. I'm just using my pencil ever so lightly because you are going to change your mind. You can see that I'm changing my mind. That's okay. We want to be loose, very loose. Keep it loose. Don't do any dark lines because you're just going to go over and over. So here, down like that, like, yep. No, don't. Make it up as you go along. I'm not working off a photo for this one. Probably a photo would be easier. Maybe I think this needs to be a bit higher here. Yeah. I think I'll put a little waterfall in here. Yeah, you haven't got to. Another row of trees here. You don't want a whole heap of lines here running in the same direction, running in the same parallel. You need to mix it up. I'll probably adjust that when I paint. I'm going to put one little gum tree over here. I think, yeah, just roughly. And I think another one here right on the edge of the water, like this. We need 3. Always 3. I find in nature things are uneven. So you start off light and you can build up the darkness. If you start off dark, you've got nowhere to go. So start off light and come up. I think I have a branch over here. So it's about balance. Stand back and look at it. When we do come to doing the forks of these branches, you'll be a bit darker in there. That's where a lot of leaf litter and what have you accumulates. The light's coming through here, so I want to make the other side darker because it's in shadow. The light's coming from this side, so we'll just start to build up this side over here. I'm using a 4B pencil here. 4B, it's soft. A 6B is even softer. Stay away from a HB or anything with a H in it because they're actually harder. Unless you want something really defined for sort of fine, clean lines, then go a harder pencil. But yeah, soft. It blends really well. This side. Just keep building it up, putting in some dark areas of bark. Yeah, come back, press a little bit harder, makes it darker. This is just giving us a bit of an idea. I was going to do it simple. You only need to do it simple. If yours look like sticks, that's fine. Me, lights on this side, darks on this side. Yep. Me, I can't help myself. I like to get a good vision of where I'm going. I find this really therapeutic, very meditative. The more you do it, the better you get. Make it a bit lighter here. Smooth that out. A bit of shadow on the ground. No. I was going to go the 6, but I prefer the 4 actually. Notice I hold my pencil on the side for this. You get better blending. Don't hold it like you're about to write because you're only using the point. When we're doing the painting, we'll have these bits of bark coming off. These will be fun to paint. A bit darker in here in the forks. This is where I was telling you before, is where all the leaves and debris accumulates. Might stick a little waterfall in here. You haven't got to. Bit of a Bit of a reflection or a shadow here from the tree and the water. Stick in a little bit more reflection from the rocks and the grasses on the side of the bank. A few lines in the water running horizontal. So, when you're doing composition, all the different trees and things like this line of hills and that at the back are light. Start super light. Get rid of that line there. And then the next row, and as you come forward, you just get a bit darker. Smooch that in. Smooching's a good word. Is it a good word? It's a technical term. Well, I just made it up, to be honest. Smooching. We're going to smooch. I need more light in this tree, so I'll just rub some of that lead out. Makes a difference on that end. Put a little bit of shadow back in the side of it, which is behind the tree. Okay. Don't actually like that there. I need to change that a bit. Bring it out a bit further. Just play around with it. And when you feel you have it right, or close to right, what you start off doing is not necessarily what you finish doing. So the lights here, and you'll change. Paintings seem to have a life of their own. You will change. Bit of a shadow over here. Bit of cross hatching. Yep, this way the light. This is making a bit of a shadow on the ground of the tree. Another one here. Shadow anchors things. If you don't put it in, it'll look like the thing's floating. You've always got to have it anchored. If you don't want to use your finger for this, just rip off a bit of paper. Use a bit of paper. I think that's going to be not too shabby. This one's got to be smaller. These two are bigger. Probably this one, I'm thinking, is going to be more forward, so it'll be bigger than that one. Anyway, see how we go. Let's move on to the painting. See you in the next video.